In the line, followed and hooted by the dogs and men. From John Clare's poem Badger, I am left wondering if John Clare is comparing himself to the badger. Does he feel as though he is being hunted and treated unfairly? The badger may be a metaphor of John Clare implying that he feels victimized or unsafe around other people. In the lines, and bait him all the day with many dogs, and laugh and shout, and fright the scampering hogs. From John Clare's poem Badger, the poor treatment of this innocent animal relates to our lives because humans treat animals in our environment unfairly. Humans cause harm to nature and think nothing of the effect that they have on it. In the lines, though scarcely half as big, demure and small, he fights with dogs for bones and beat them all. From John Clare's poem Badger, I am led to understand that the badger symbolizes courage and ambition. Although the size of the badger cannot compare with that of the dogs or of humans, he is fighting and his power comes from the inside. The badger was determined to not be harmed by the humans or the dogs. In the lines, in character, he resembles us in 7 ways. From the poem The Porcupine by Galway Kinnell, I am led to understand that the actions of a porcupine relate to the actions of humans. I would not have seen these relations to a porcupine if the poet had not pointed them out. In the 4th stanza, a farmer shot a porcupine 3 times as it dozed on a tree limb. On the way down, it tore open its belly on a broken branch, hooked its gut, and went on falling. On the ground it sprang to its feet, and paying out, gut heaved, and spartled through 100 feet of golden rod before the abrupt emptiness. From Galway Kinnell's poem The Porcupine. His description of the porcupine being shot to death leads me to feel pathos for the porcupine, because the poet makes me feel empathy for the innocent porcupine. In the 6th stanza of the poem The Porcupine by Galway Kinnell, the poet confesses to experiencing situations similar to those of the executed porcupine. This leads me to understand that he is comparing himself to the porcupine. For example, they have both been scared and they have both fallen. In the lines, a narrow fellow in the grass occasionally rides. From the poem A Narrow Fellow in the Grass by Emily Dickinson. I am led to understand that the poet is describing a snake. Her description of the appearance and the movement of the snake that she is writing about implies that she is talking about a snake. In the lines, have passed, I thought, a whiplash, upbraiding in the sun. From the poem A Narrow Fellow in the Grass by Emily Dickinson. The phrase whiplash describes the poet's reaction to the snake. This relates to my intellectual life because her fear of snakes is similar to my fear of ants. Her reaction is similar to the way I would have reacted after seeing ants. In the lines, without a tighter breathing and zero at the bone, from the poem A Narrow Fellow in the Grass by Emily Dickinson, the reaction to the poet's encounter with the snake leads me to believe that the author is afraid of snakes.